Hey guys, hello everyone, good evening people. Hi Shashank, hi, hello Krishit, hello Madhavan. Hi, good evening people. Am I audible? Hello. Guys, am I audible? Just give me a quick confirmation in the chat please. Hi Akshar, good evening, hello. Just put some emoji or hello wala emoji in the chat so that I will get to know that yes, I'm audible. Hi, audible? Audible? Okay, thank you so much guys. Thank you people. Yes, thank you guys. So I will give you a short introduction before we start the session. I will tell you about this boot camp. So basically, this is the 5 days boot camp which we are starting, and it's a React boot camp. So thank you, people. Thank you so much. I can see the chat is active. It's super active. I'm happy to see it. So guys, myself Anam Khan. I am from LetsUpgrade, and I'm here just to give you a brief about the session. That what are we going to learn in this session, and how to mark your attendance and get the certificate, and what other programs we have for you all. Thank you guys, thank you. I don't have knowledge about JavaScript, so can you can start with it. Sir will explain you everything. So just let me share my screen quickly and explain you all about the attendance part. So put a put a thumbs up in the chat if my screen is visible in to you all, please. Put a thumbs up in the chat, please. Hi. Okay, so yes, you can tell me from you where you people are joining. So I am joining from Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. You can let me know from where you people are, from which background you are, like which field you are in. So we'll connect with each other, get to know. Okay, thank you guys, thank you so much. So here is my screen, and here in the description box you can see this registration, attendance, certificate, assignment, all in one link. Basically we say it one link, everything is in this one link. You click on this link and you will be redirected to this enrollment page where you enroll yourself, and scroll down the page. Beside this day one, you can see mark attendance toggle. Click on this toggle. You will see a 0 to 10 scale. It's a rating scale. If you like the session, you can give 10 on 10. It's on you how much you want to rate the session. For now, I will give 10 on 10. And this is the feedback box. If you have any feedback for us, if you want anything that we people need to improve, you can put it here freely, and then submit your attendance. So after submitting, just reload your page. Make sure that you're reloading your page. It's important so that your progress bar will increase day by day as you mark your attendance. So please guys, after marking your attendance, do not complain in the chat that our progress bar is not increasing. Reload your page once, it will get increased. So on the day 5, here you will get to see generate certificate option right beside the progress bar. So when the program ends, that is on day 5, you will get to generate your certificate also. So, and we are building our Discord and WhatsApp channel community, so you can join us there to get more updates, more. You will get the invites for everyday session. If you want the every invites of everyday session, you can join our community. And also we share many more things there, many more chances for you all. And same way, we have this Postman API challenge going on. We are already June batch has completed this challenge, and we are announcing the winners also. Same way, we are running it for July also. You can join this challenge and complete the uh, Postman API certification. And we have the student ambassador program going on. It's a 1 month program. The July batch has already started, and people are enjoying a lot. We are having workshops, games, and everything. You can win exciting swags in the meet industry leaders, attend useful workshops, and give coupon gifts, and many more things are there. So if you are interested, you can join in this program. It's a 1 month free bootcamp, no fees, no charge, nothing. I can see people are joining from various different places. Hello, how will we get certificate? For certificate, you need to mark your attendance daily. Make sure The link is there in the description box. I will share it in the chat too. And if you want, if okay guys, so this is the all-in-one documentation link. Click on this link. So this is the Notion doc where we have saved stored notes and links for your people. Here is the session link, enrollment link, and scroll, if you scroll down, you get the notes page where you can refer, which you can refer and save it somewhere. You can use it in your future also. So it will be very helpful for you all. So if you, and if sir shares any PPT or any notes, anything, we will save the link in this Notion docs. So make sure that you keep this Notion doc handy. ओके ओके गाइस, आई विल, मैं आपको और नहीं पकाऊंगी, मैं सर को इंट्रोड्यूस कराती हूँ आप सबसे. सो हाय सर, हेलो, गुड इवनिंग सर.
Hi guys.
Hi. So, students, he is Rajat sir. He will be your trainer for next 5 days. If you have any query, anything, if you have any doubt related to the bootcamp or any question, you can ask him. Be free to ask in the chat, and please do not spam anything in the chat. The important messages gets ignored. So please make sure that you are not spamming in the chat. And I will hand over the session to the sir and take the leave. Take a leave. Bye, sir. Bye, guys.
My Hello guys. So myself Rajat Dash, and currently I'm a front-end developer at Root Quotient Technologies. And it's been around 2 years since I'm in this industry field and working on entirely front-end technologies such as React and JavaScript also. So for next 5 days, I will be taking your sessions on this React Bootcamp, and a very warm welcome aboard, guys. Yeah, hi. So without getting much late, let's get started about this bootcamp, that is the React.js bootcamp. And I hope you guys are very excited for it. And some of you also know what React is and everything. So I'll give you a brief. Like, tell before giving a brief, can you guys tell me like what do you have understanding regarding React? Like what you all guys know about React? What is React? Okay, okay, GitHub is JS, JS library, React is for front end, React is a native library in for.js. Okay. Okay. So quite much people you guys know about React. Okay. So React is a JavaScript library. Okay. It's a library and not a framework. And many of you get confused between React is a framework and not a library. So let me tell you first that React is a library and not a framework. Many frameworks are based on React. For the one of the popular one, it is Next.js. And apart from Next, there are other like frameworks also, such as Gatsby or Remix. So React is a library you all guys now know, right? But why it is a framework and not a library? See, the major difference between a library and a framework is that framework have things specified in it, things defined in it, and we have to move according to it. Like we cannot change the naming conventions in a framework. We cannot have our own customization, much of it. But in a library, it gives us that flexibility. And of course, library is smaller in size, like छोटा होता है size में. So production build के time पे easy रहता है. And with library, we also get that flexibility of adding the features which we want, unlike the framework which provides us all the things and makes it a very heavy application. So library doesn't do that. Library में वो सब चीजें नहीं होती. We have to add things on our own. Okay, other than Next, what are other frameworks? Okay, next, apart from Next, we have Gatsby here, we have Remix there. Okay, so those frameworks are based on React. Okay, but those are based on React. tend to use React within those frameworks. Okay, so without getting much late now, let's start with how to install React. And in the meantime, I will also explain why React has been created, okay, and what all stuff it provides. I guess you guys are familiar with little bit HTML and JavaScript. If yes, then please give a thumbs up in the chat. I would love to have that interaction. Okay. Am I audible to all you guys? Is my voice loud and clear? Okay, cool. So just tell me if my screen is visible. Is my screen visible? Okay, cool. So why React is developed in the first place? Like if I will tell you a story. So back in the times, if you known a software, known a website called Facebook that's still present, it still is present. So in that case, there's something called notifications, if you see, right? Whenever you get a message from someone, you get a notification. So that notification shows like if you get message from five people, that notification icon will show five number that. But eventually what happens, for example, if I'm using the Facebook and I open that chat and I read all the chats, okay, but after that also that number from the notification icon doesn't goes away. Okay. So this problem statement, to resolve this problem statement, like Facebook created React. Okay. And in the initial times, React also got criticism of regarding this only, that to solve this little problem, you guys created a whole library. But eventually time passed and React is now loved by everyone. Okay. So React is not that nothing, not like that you use in every day, like for everything. Okay. We can do the simple stuff with using JavaScript also. So React comes into play when you have to create such an application which have multiple operations in a single click. For example, if you are clicking on something and it is changing values in multiple places. For example, if you're logging into some login, if you're making a login page, so that login page be passing a login token to multiple components of the web applications where you need authentication, authorizations, and all. Okay, recent attendance link. I guess it might be present in the description. You can check. Oh, so React comes into play when you want to create a web application which have complexity in it, which have multiple complexities, multiple operations in it, and which if you try to handle with JavaScript, that vanilla JavaScript, it will take a lot of time. It will be very messy. So React comes into picture at that place and helps in that. Okay. Initially, when React was developed, it was made using class-based because it was a class-based approach for React, and it was not that efficient, which is right now in React 18 or in React 17. But now React has developed a lot, and it has made our life a lot easier. So I guess now you guys have an idea like why React is developed and why React is used. The next thing, major thing that React provides us is that making a single page applications, or we call it as SPAs. How many of you know about SPAs, single page applications? Any guesses? What does it mean? What it is? Yeah, SPA, single page applications, as the name suggests. Any idea what it could be? Static website. Okay, no, so it's not a static website. Okay, I'll give you an example. If you remember, like in earlier times when we used to browse to a website, earlier times I would say before जियो के दौर से पहले, जब इंटरनेट बहुत कम लोगों के पास हुआ करता था and all. So have you went through a website at that time and you see like when you do some operations, like when you do some operation or do some activity on a website, it loads every time on the browser. If I show this loading icon, if you can see, it loads for every tab. For example, if I go here and search Wikipedia, can you see this thing loaded once, right? So earlier times when used to do operations, it used to send a request to server and then that request comes back and then the website loads every time you do something. SPAs remove that thing and gives us the flexibility of loading the website only once. Okay, so that the load on server becomes less and we can create more efficient web applications and functionalities. Sir, class में projects भी बनाएंगे. Yes, we will make projects, and from the next session onwards, we will start a project and we will learn via making projects only. Okay, low sound. Like I'm asking it again, am I audible? Loud and clear. Am I audible? Am I audible loud and clear? I guess those who are having some issues in voice or in loudness, can you can please increase your volume? Oh, cool. So where were I? In SPS. So earlier times the page was to used to load every time we do an operation. But after coming React and other frameworks, those frameworks and libraries have offered us SPS, like a single page application. And what does single page application means? The page will only load once. Okay. For example, the one of the common examples I will give to you, that is YouTube. And now you see when I click YouTube, when I went to YouTube, it only load once. Like now, if I go to Shorts or if I go to subscriptions, Shorts or subscriptions, can you observe that this page doesn't load again? I can access anything, playlist, videos, sorry for that, watch later, home. The page doesn't load here. It only loaded once when I initiated the YouTube, but after that it doesn't load it, right? So this functionality or this feature is called single page applications. Now you must have been thinking, okay, sir, what about the pages which have multiple routes, like in which we have to go from one page to another. Like, for example, uh, let's go to some good application. Or if I show you okay, for example, my channel. Okay, have you seen this YouTube slash at the rate thus like it went to a different route, right? It went to a different route, but it doesn't reloaded the page. This also comes into under SPA single page application, and this thing is achievable via routing. We will get to routing in further sessions. Okay, and we will learn all those things. So single page application React provides us this two major things. One is that to make complex functionalities easier. Total R. What do you mean by total R? Can you like brief it again? Redux toolkit. Okay. See. State management, we will study. We will study the basic state management which React provides us, that is context API. Regarding Redux toolkit and other global state management libraries, we can schedule another session regarding it because this is a 5 day session and we are going to start it from very beginning to a certain level in which you are able to understand React code and you are also able to make React code. Like you are able to make something out of React. Okay. How much time taken? How long this session will be? It is for 1 hour only. Okay. This session will be 1 hour, and the next 4 sessions will be 1 hour each. And we will be developing a project throughout the next sessions. Okay. So you understood why what is React, what are single page applications, and React also gives us a flexibility of components, reusable components. If you are familiar with functions, like if you are like you have done some in JavaScript also we have functions, right? We can use them as many times as we want with some tweakings. Okay, which with some tweaks like whatever we want, passing properties or passing arguments. React also provides us this feature or functionality called components, which we can use again and again to make our web application. Now, if I give you an example of this YouTube page only, when we can then we can see this search bar is ev- present at every page, like in home page, in your history page. So if I go for a traditional HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then I have to write this again and again, right? But React provides us this functionality of components. I will make this component once. I will write this code once for the search bar, and I can implement it anywhere, whichever thing I want. For example, here you can see this. So this all these things React provides us. These are components, component reusability, and SPS. Now let's start with setting up React in our system. Like eventually you need to code, right? So the very first thing you need to install is that Node. Now why Node? See, React is completely based on JavaScript, and JavaScript can only run on your browser. Browser understands JavaScript. Your system doesn't understand. Now, to make it run in your system, you need a compiler or interpreter, whatever you can say. Node is not a compiler interpreter, but to make you understand things, Node will give you that environment in your system to run JavaScript. Okay. What is the major difference between React.js and HTML in building website? See, HTML only gives you the structure. Okay. With HTML, if you add CSS, then it will beautify your structure. And with HTML, CSS, if you add JavaScript, it will give the brain to your entire application. HTML, CSS will only create the structure. It will not provide any functionalities. For example, it will not provide any functionality of clicking or inputting something. You getting my point? It will only be the structure. ढांचा होगा सिर्फ दिमाग नहीं होगा उसमें. Okay. So to run React in your system, you need Node. Please go through this site. For if you are using a Windows machine, you can download this Node, this package. If you are using Mac, you can go through these codes, or you can directly go for this Node package and install this. And after installing Node, just check whether it is installed properly or not. I am using my terminal. You can go for your PowerShell or anything, whichever you are comfortable with. And we will see Node minus V. So it will tell us Node version that is 22.4.0. I'm using this, and it will signify you that Node is being installed properly in your system. Okay. After this, we are going to use any code editor. You can use whichever code editor you want, you are familiar with, you are friendly with. I'm going to use VS Code because in the industry levels, and my favorite is VS Code only. Okay. And to get started with, I will write a command called npx create React app and my application name, whatever I want to give my application name. For example, for this, I will say React Basic, right? Now let's understand this command first. What is like? I will give you an overview like npx, npm. Okay. So right now you have installed Node, right? So Node provides us one thing that is called npm, that is full formed as Node Package Manager. It is a package manager which is used to install different packages, different libraries in your system. Okay. And what npx stands for? Npx stands for Node Package Executor. The only difference between is if you want to install that package in your system, then you will use npm. If you don't want to install in your system for long time or for permanent manner, then you just go for npx. It will temporarily install it. Temporarily, you can use this package. Now, what this package is? Create React app. Okay, create React app, or you can say a software or a tool which will help you to create a basic React application. React applications require some folders, require some files. It will create for you. You doesn't have to manually create those. Okay. Yes, we can use wheat for it. I will go with wheat also. I will explain you why wheat is should be used. And in fact, React itself also now says you should use some framework or wheat. This create React app is a bit heavy. I will explain you in a way. Well, let's work first. Create your app first. Okay. Naming conventions. Here you have to keep in mind that naming conventions should be maintained. I will say, yeah, yes. By the time it installs, you're not able to mark attendance. I guess you have to log in first to mark your attendance. See, the main prerequisite of learning React is JavaScript. You have to learn JavaScript before jumping into React. You must have a little bit idea. I would say at least 50% of JavaScript you know. You should know how functions work. You should know how execution context work. Okay. You should know how what is DOM and all those stuff you should be knowing like before jumping into React. At least you should have some basic knowledge of JavaScript. See, after all, everything that runs on browser is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. React also doesn't goes and jumps into browser like as it is. It converts everything into JavaScript, and then we are able to see whatever is in the screen. Okay. At the end, this React code also bundles up as a JavaScript, and then it is being presented on you on your web browser. So I guess our project has been created. Let's move to our project. Okay. So now you can see some files are there, right? We have our node modules, public folder, source folder, getignore, package.log, package.json, and readme.py. Okay. I would suggest whenever you create a project, please create a good readme about it so that the next developer with whosoever will work on that project, or in fact, if you are showcasing your project and someone is going to view your project, they will get an overview of a project through a readme. Okay. So whenever you create a project, create a good readme about it. Okay. Starting with the folder structure, we can see some files and some folders here. Let's start with the package.json. And you can see a lot of stuffs here, right? Name, version, dependencies, scripts. some browser list and everything. We'll focus on some major things, main things which are required us to know. First of all, you can see dependencies. Okay. So React requires some packages, requires some dependencies. Okay. The major two dependencies which React require is that React, this one, and React DOM. Okay. Those two are the two major things which we require to make a React application. Apart from these, these two other things are extras. For example, this testing libraries. Okay, testing library, React, Django. These are used for testing the React application. Okay, for unified testing or for unit testing, these libraries are used. Next, we have React scripts. React scripts are a completely different thing. We will learn about it in next other section. And we have this Web Vitals. Web Vitals is to check like how your application is performing, like web application is performing, whether it is SEO friendly or not, how much time it is taking to load, and all these things. But for a basic React application, only two packages are required. It is React and React DOM. Okay. And if I show you one thing, like the major application, the major thing, which is React package only, React only. Okay. You must have heard about React and React Native, right? React Native is used for developing mobile applications. So React is the main package, main library. And to use it for web applications, we use React DOM. Similarly, if I want to use React for developing mobile applications, I will be taking help of React Native. Okay. Are you guys clear with it? The main library or main package is React. To use it in a web to make web applications, React is combined with React DOM. And to make mobile applications, React is combined with React Native. Clear? Now let's move again to our code base and see package.json file. So now we know that for a basic React application, we need two packages, that is React and React DOM for web application. For mobile, it will be React Native. Now we can see some scripts. These scripts are used to run the application. Okay, for various purposes. We can see start, we can see build, we can see test and eject. Just a second. Yeah. The test and it start, build, test and eject. For these sessions, we will be using only one script right now. I will explain you this build script. Okay. Start script will basically start your application in a development mode. Okay. In which you can see whatever you are building. You can see all the functionalities which are there in the application, which you are building. Right. Build is to build the entire project. What build the entire project means? React code doesn't go as it is to the browser. Okay. It first converts into JavaScript and then it is being deployed. When a production level website or web application is deployed, the build folder is being deployed, not the entire React application. Okay, so build is required at that time. For development purpose, we will create this script called React Start. It will start our application in development mode, and we can see whatever we are building. Next, we have get ignore file. If you guys are familiar with get, then this is something that the things which we don't want to include in our get folder or we don't want to track, we put it in our get ignore file. Simple as. Now we have the source folder. Majority of the time you will be in the source folder only. Most of the development, most of the things which you will be building will be stored in the source folder only. Right? Now before jumping into the source folder and knowing stuff, let's first start our application. As I've shown you that the script starts means it will help us to run our application for the very first time. So to run our application, we can use command called npm start, or we can use npm run start. Okay, this is a command. and our application is started. Right? If I show you, then this is being running on localhost 3000 and see localhost 3000. So we have kind of made our first React application installed, or you can say created and started. I know we have not changed anything here. I know we have not implemented anything or we have not modified it anywhere. But for the being, React application is being started. We can see something running on our system. Why not wait? We will move forward to wait. Just wait for a while. I'll just explain what these things are not. Okay. So now can you see when we have used that create React app command, we are forced to install these testing libraries, the React Skills, Web Vitals, and a lot of things. Okay, which tend to make our application a bit heavy and tend to make our application load a bit slower. Okay, we don't require this. I already said for React to work, we only need two packages, that is React and React DOM, nothing else. And for this reason, this installing extra packages and extra things, create React app commands goes a little heavy on it. So to avoid this, React also itself says us that you should not go for create React app. And if I go to the web browser and see the React documentation, which React provides us to learn React, go to the documentation. Documentation is the best source to learn React. Okay. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky, but once you get to the documentations, you can achieve anything. Like you can build your own applications on your own without watching any uh, YouTube tutorials or anything. You will get through it. So let's go to installation and see how React itself says out how to use React. Okay, how to start a new project we can see here, and it's saying that use a production grade React framework, but we don't want to use a framework right now. We don't know how to use React, and how will you jump to frameworks? And here you can see, as I said in the earlier uh, start of the session, that frameworks based on React are Next.js, Remix, Gatsby, Expo for native applications. Okay, but we need to use React as native React. Like, so how we can see here, you can see one thing which can I use React without framework? So here also it says that you can set up your React thing using Vite or Parcel. Now, what are Vite and Parcel? Vite and Parcel are bundlers, which bundles up your React or which bundles up your JavaScript code and makes it browser readable JavaScript. Okay, Vite and Parcel are the web JavaScript bundlers. I will give you an example how to use Vite, and in further sessions also we will be using Vite only. Okay, so let's just first close this thing and let's move out. Oh, close. So we have our one basic React application created through React, create React app. Now we'll create a React app using Vite. Same prerequisites, you need Node to be installed in a system. And here we will use npm create npm. Okay, just go, let's go to the first. Where is it? Vite. I'll show you how to get started first. This is the Vite web page. You go to the get started, and here you can see there's one command called npm create Vite at latest. This is it. We need this only. I copied this. I pasted this. Now it will ask for my project name. In Create React app, we have provided a project name that we can see that is Create React Basic. For this also, we need to provide a project name. Let's make it React Wheat. And now, just increase. So it will ask a variety of options: Vanilla, Vue, React, React, Lit, Swell, Solid, or Quick. Web applications can be made through these libraries. Okay. For the time being, we need to do it in React, like since it is a React bootcamp. I'll go simply select React. Lot of options there: TypeScript, TypeScript, SWC, JavaScript, JavaScript, SWC. Need not to worry. Simply JavaScript. That's it. That's it. Now it is showing us three things to do. How to run our application. You can see move to React Vite folder. A folder has been created. npm install and npm run dev. So without being much late, let's do that. Let's first move to React folder. I'll just show you all the files are being here. Can you see one thing is missing out here? In our previous project, this node modules are is being automatically there itself, right? But for this, node modules is not there. And if you see one more thing, dependencies which is required to make a React application work is React and React DOM, and that is only present here. Unlike the Create React tab where we have testing file, testing libraries, and web vital libraries and all of things, this is not present there. How? But we can see a lot of dev dependencies out there. Dev dependencies are node dependencies which are required to make. Just a second. Okay. If I, is it visible now? Like, is my screen visible? Like, can you see the code? Scroll down. Okay. Is my screen? It is clearly visible, right? Okay. So I was saying we have a lot of dev dependencies. And what are dev dependencies? Dependencies which are being used while developing an application, and it will be not be present out there in your production level application. Okay. These will only be helpful for developing your application. Because eventually the entire React code will be bundled up in a JavaScript file only. And then that will be hosted or deployed on your site. Okay. So for which only two things are required for building a React application is a React and React DOM. That's it. Now, how to run it? As we saw earlier, there was a command. But before running that command, we need to install our these dependencies. See, for previous project, it has been already automatically installed for us. But for this, we have to install it manually. And to install those dependencies, we can see that in package.depend it is already mentioned. To install dependencies, we have one command called npm install, or in short, you can just write npm I. Both will do the same. And can you notice one thing? Like it happened ridiculously fast than the create React app command. It just went like in 10 seconds. So this is the power of third-party bundlers. And React itself says that you need not to be using Create React app for creating your React projects. You might use Vite, Parcel, or some bundler, or you can directly use it in a good full-fledged frameworks like Next.js, Gatsby, or Remix. But for learning purposes, we will be using Vite from our next sessions. And since it is very fast, as you already see, and it gives us the flexibility to install our own packages which we want. The doesn't create React app, it throws all the unnecessary things to us. Right? So moving forward with the source folder, I will just make you visit the React basic source folder first to make you understand what is required and what is not. So in the source folder, you can see a lot of files out there. You can see setup test, report vitals, logo, index, index.css. We don't require all these things. We only require two files. If I say a very naively, then only one file is required. That is our index.js. And you can see some code out here. And one more file is at app.js to get started. App.js is your component. Uh, well, the session I have told you one concept called component. So this is a component, right? And you can see this component is being imported here and being used like a HTML tag. Can you see like it is being used as an HTML tag? So this is called JSX, JavaScript XML. Now let's understand what is required and what is not. Initially, we only require two files, majorly two files. One is our main base component, which we are going to embed it to the root, and our index file. That's it. So we don't require setup.test. It is for testing purposes. We don't require web vitals. Web vitals is I've already said you that it checks your website, how fast is it loading and what all the vitals of your website. Logo SVG, we will not be requiring this. We will be customizing our own website. Index.js is required. Index.css, I don't think so right now required. But for the CSS file, we will keep it. App.test file, not required. We are not going to learn testing a React project right now. App.js, our main base component file, we'll keep it. App.css, we'll not keep it. Index.css will work fine. So we'll just remove the things which we don't want, and I'll move it to, I'll just delete it. Okay. So now just move out of this and let's go to our React basic. And if I go and now start my application, that is npm start, it will throw some errors on it. It is saying something is missing. I'll just remove those missing things out of it. It's saying logo.svg is not accessible. You just remove it. We don't want it. For app.css, it is there. Okay. For index.css, we don't want it, so we removed it. Web vitals, we don't want it, we removed it. Web vitals, it's not required. And it is saying that logo is also not defined. Logo right here. I'll just remove why this letter. We'll just simply say H1 for a box. I guess now our application should work. No errors out here in the terminal. Let's see. Cool. We have our first application running with some customizations out there now. We have customized the basic React boilerplate and we have wrote something of our own, I guess. So these are the files which we require majorly. Okay. Same thing, we will now do it with Beat also. I'll just close this terminal. I'll move out one folder back and I'll move to React and React Beat. Good. We can see same kind of structure in this. Okay, there are a lot of things, a lot more things like Beat config and asset folder or ESLint CHA. We don't much need to worry about those. In further sessions, I will be giving you a small brief about those files. But for the time being, let's go and do the same thing. for in the Vite application also, and we will run it. So first, let's run the Vite application. To running our application to any running to run any JavaScript applications, you just go to a package.js and see what script out is present out in there. Okay. For build, we have discussed that for building it is build. For dev, in the create reactor it was start, and for in Vite it was like dev. So for running the application, we'll go for npm run dev, and it gave us one URL. Let's go to the URL and see this is the application which we provides us. There is some functionality out there, quite fascinating, and we'll do this also. We'll learn about this. But first, let's customize this and make it a simple one as we made it in Create React App project. Similar kind of things are present out there, but not those vital web vitals or setup or test or something, right? Four files in which we only require three. And this time let's go for app.js. Main.js is the same as index.js. You can see quite similar. App.js is quite similar to the app.js, what was there in the create react app module and some CSS files. So this time we don't require this app.css. I will delete it into trash. And for any other CSS, I'll just remove all these things. Now it is for app.listings. I don't require all this stuff. I require a simple H1, right? So we'll go for that simple H1 here, and we'll write hello React from Vite. I don't know this. I will remove this, and we don't require these, and this. This is a hook. Okay, this is a major concept in React. We'll learn about this. But since we don't know about this right now, we'll just remove it. And we'll focus on running our application. Some error is out there. What error? It is saying app.css. We'll also remove this. No errors present out there. Let's see our application is running or not. Our application is running. We can see hello React from Vite. Sorry for the typo. It will be wrong. Okay. So our application is now up and running. And we have both the applications with two different methods. One is from create react app and one is from Vite. I hope that you guys are now familiar with React, how to start a React project, why React is in the industry, what React offers us, okay, and why React is majorly used. I would highly request you guys to try this at home, try this all those things which we have done in this session on yourself. Go to Node, go install a Node, go install your favorite editor, whether it is VS Code or whether it's Sublime Text, whatever you feel like good, go and start your React project. At least go and run that command npm create React app or npm create Vite, whatever you feel like, whatever you feel like is good. Go and run that command. Go and check. Like you will feel good. You will feel that thing of yeah, we are a coder. Okay. So this is our React basic thing, how to set up the React code. From next session, we will be learning about JSX, components, and all these things while developing one project. We will be developing that project throughout in chunks, and the final day, at the last day of session, it will be completed with the major functionalities implemented. But throughout the sessions, we will be developing the project while learning the major stuffs of React, the major things which need to be which need you to be a React developer. Okay. And if I say that what all React offers us to learn, I'll just give you a brief. Okay. So React, the major things which React offers is our React application in which we have state. Hold on. I just mention state or we say UI manipulation. Next, we have component reusability. Next, we have propagating the data. And finally, state management. Now, you guys must be wondering what this state is, what this component reusability, propagating data, and state management. So, to explain you in layman language, state or UI manipulation, think it think it as a variable. Okay, in a web application, let's take this React dev page only. Okay, so you can see these data out there. You can see this button out there, and something is written here that hide details. And suddenly, when I click this hide details, it changes to show details, right? So I guess this button is maintaining a state or maintaining a variable which is being changed on clicking. Am I right? So this is called state manage. This is called state or UI manipulation. We are manipulating the UI, right? On a click, it is saying hide details. On a click, it is saying show details. Am I clear? Like, are you guys getting it? Like what I'm saying? Just give us a thumbs up if you understood what UI manipulation actually means. Say, am I clear? Oh, so React provides us this state or UI manipulation and component reusability. Component, I'll just show you. Earlier, I said this is a component. This app is a component, right? And I said that app components can be reused multiple times, right? So if I go and place it multiple times, what will happen? What will happen to the web application that we have made? I need answers from you guys. I have placed that app component 5 times there. What we will be displaying out in our web application, which is running. Any idea? And I also said that it is a component. It can be used multiple times. I have used it multiple times. Yeah. Whatever there inside the app will be there out there in the web application 5 times as I have used it 5 times out here. So if I go and see, you can see our H1 saying hello React from Beat is displayed here 5 times. Okay. So this thing is component reusability. We can make one component and we can reuse it multiple times as per our need, wherever we want. Now, if you guys getting an idea why I said an example of the search bar in YouTube page, because that search bar component is present at every page. It is present at home section. It is present in present in the about section or in the subscription page. So we so this component has been written only once and it is being used multiple times. Understood? Yes. So this is called component reusability. Now we won't be only making this static components. It will not be always H1. Okay, it will not be always a paragraph tag. It will also have some data in it. As I shown you example, this show details and hide details, it is being toggled. Okay. And for example, if I take this button only as a component and I can use it, and if I'm using it multiple times, but I don't want this show details or hide details to be there. For any other section, it might be some other data to be it, right? So at that time, we can pass some data to our components, and that is called propagating the data. Or we can pass some data as props. What do you mean by props? Props are nothing but properties. In JavaScript, we have seen, you are familiar with objects, right? An object works like this. We have properties inside it, right? We have, for example, let's say I have ID and it is one, right? And we have name, we have name Alex. Okay. So this is an object having some properties. Similarly, in components also, we pass some properties. We pass some data to it in the form of props. Props is just a naming convention using it. You can name it anything, whatever you want. Okay. Props are nothing but properties. So this section is called propagating the data. And lastly, we have state management. State management, like managing the state, managing the data which has been passed to the component. One of the best example, again, this store details and hide details. I am managing it on my click, right? Something is happening to that component, and the data which is being present here is being changing. It is changing from show details to hide details, right? So this is called state management. State management goes to a little complex level when we have multiple things changing on changing on a single operation. A very basic example, if I give you, then it would be like when you click on login, the page gets changed. You get rerouted to a different page. You get your name at the profile level. Okay. Or if you have some subscription level website also. So on that login, you get that subscriptions and everything. So when you have multiple operation or multiple data change in a single click, then you have to take help of a bigger state management structure or a feature. So earlier, state management things were not present inbuilt in React. So while when React was developed and state management was not inbuilt with React at that time, so some packages came into picture that we today known as Redux or Flux, or now a better version, a better you can say a easier version of Redux also came into market, that is Redux Toolkit. We have DoStand and sorry, UseStand. So these are state management libraries. But for this session, for this bootcamp, we will not be jumping into Redux, Flux, or any of the higher complex level statement libraries. React itself provides us context API. This context API provides us the same functionality as Redux, Flux, or Redux Toolkit as DoStand provides. It helps us managing complex level states in a very simpler manner. Or you can say it helps us managing the states in a very global level where we can access it from any of the components. Okay. So these are things that React provides us. Apart from it, React provides us nothing. But since we said that React helps us making a single page application, and within the single page application, we can make multiple pages or multiple sections. And to achieve that, we have our libraries comes into play, or packages you can say comes into play. That is one of the major or one of the famous package we use with React is React routing. That multiple pages or multiple scenario, multiple screens which you can make in React is being made with the help of React routing. And for React routing, sorry, and for routing, we have a package called React router DOM. React router DOM is a package which we will be using in our further sessions to create our multiple pages in this React application. Okay. So this React router DOM helps us create our routings or routes to different pages. So majorly, we will be covering these topics in our bootcamp or in the entire bootcamp and in further sessions. For the time being, I hope you guys have understood what React is, how to set up React in your system, and how to run your first React application. Okay, under React, what are the skills required and language to learn? For React, the very major prerequisite is JavaScript. You have to know JavaScript, at least for the basic level. JavaScript concepts should be clear to you. What all are context or what all are execution context and okay, if I go to very basic one, at least you know what JavaScript is. Okay. You should be knowing the DOM. What is DOM? Document Object Model. So please go through the JavaScript first, otherwise you will not be able to understand React, how it is working. Okay, because React is also JavaScript only. It is based on JavaScript, and eventually the React code also converts into JavaScript only, and then it is provided to web app. Okay, what will the final project? Final project will be revealed in the next session only. Okay, and in this entire session, we will be developing side by side and learning concepts. Major project. See, for your learning basis, we will be taking a pretty easy to intermediate one so that your concepts are clear. For major project, we need a much more time to it. Okay, and many of you are very new to React right now. So to keep it simple, we will be moving forward with a simple to intermediate level project, and we will be learning the concepts through it, like while developing it. I will be explaining you the concepts which are required to make that project. And for the next session, we are going to start with JSX. With React, you must have heard the concept called JSX, that is JavaScript XML. And if I again show you, then this syntax or this using this JavaScript function, if I show you, then this is nothing but a function, right? JavaScript function. This function app, it's a JavaScript function, and I'm using it as a HTML tag. So this is called JSX. We will be learning in depth about JSX in the next session, and we will be learning about components, how to create component, with that how to pass data to it to a component, or we call properties. Okay, so for the next session we will be covering those topics while implementing or while coding ourselves or while creating that project in it. Can we skip beat? See, it's up to you. I have made you learn the basic, very basic one from which I started learning. Create React app is the tool which React itself provides to create a project, React project. But Beat is for like it doesn't throws on you the unnecessary folders, unnecessary packages which you doesn't define. As I said earlier, testing libraries and all those things is not required to start a basic React project. Two major things required to start a React project, two major packages are React and React DOM. React is the base one, and to make a web application, we use React DOM. Similarly, if you want to go for making a mobile application, we use React Native. Okay. What is Vite? Vite is a bundler. Okay. This React code doesn't go to browser as it is, what you write. It first get converted into JavaScript code, entire JavaScript file, and then it is being pushed to a production level sites. Okay. Okay, I will show you what happens. Is my screen visible? Just give me a minute. Hmm. So is the screen visible? Okay. So I'll just show you what happens if we go and run that build script. Okay. I'll show you in the React basic one only. So React basic, and we have seen this build. Okay. So as I say, React doesn't go like the way you write here. The code will not go like this, import React or something like this. It will not go to the production level as it is. It will be first converted into JavaScript and then it will be deployed into production. So for that, we use build command. It builds the entire React project and gives us a production ready files. So let's go and build this. I will go and npm run build. Yeah, it will take some time. Hmm. So wait is just used for beginning. Later we use only React. Okay, just a second. React, because I have seen and learned only components of JS, not JSX. And can you please tell the difference between two extensions? Okay. See, JSX is the extension that Neat is being used. You can just convert it to JS also. It doesn't matter that I convert it to JS. It will still run. It will still run. Okay. JSX just gives you an indication that this is a JSX file. This is a React component. Okay. Well, if you want, then we can clearly move forward with create React app. Doesn't make any much sense. Doesn't make any difference here. Okay. What is Babel and how it is used by React? Babel is the JavaScript interpreter. Okay. Okay, I will show you one thing. Can you see this React DOM dot create to that element? Hmm, where was it? If I okay, let's make one thing. I go and can you see this? In the index.file, I have removed that React dot strict mode and the component. I just simply passed a hello world, hello root here, right? And our application is still running, right? So now if I say that how and how, if you are thinking that this is simple HTML, then it is not. It is not that simple HTML you are thinking. Okay, I'll just show you how Babel works. Babel is a compiler for it interprets modern JavaScript into, as it already says, it says next gen of modern JavaScript into browser compatible JavaScript. As I said that everything that is out there in React code is first converted into browser friendly JavaScript and then it is being deployed. So if I go and I paste this thing here, you can see I'll just copy this. So copy, paste. Oh, leave it. How will I show you? Hmm. Can you see this? React dom.create true document.get element ID. Then it is making React.render the children. So React is something doing well, that is also not. I will show you a better example. Was here only. See, if you can see here, and I don't know why it is not scrolling, but if you can see here, after this React.create element is your the thing which we wrote out here. Hello React.root. So this code out here, it is not HTML, it is JSX, and it is a React element. It is not your regular HTML. Okay. So Babel helps out React to convert its code into browser-friendly JavaScript, and then we deploy it. Because browser only understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, nothing else. So whatever libraries or frameworks we use, when we go for a production level deployment, the thing is being converted into plain JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, and HTML and CSS. That's it. Okay, Redux, we are not going to move forward with Redux in this session because it is a higher level for state management system, or you can say library. We will be using context API in this session to attain those levels of state managements in our application. Okay. So I guess you guys have understood what React is, what how to create a React application and run it. I would now wrap up this session, and I would highly suggest you guys to go to a system and do what we did it right now in this session. Okay, go and run that command, run that npm command, and try to run that React application in your code in the system. Okay, you will get an idea how things actually work. And for the next session, you will be ready with your systems out there and saying, "Say yes, we are going to build it." Okay. And with that thing, I will just wrap up the session and do come up with doubts tomorrow. Okay. I want to see those curious faces. With that, I will take your leave Thank you guys. Thank you for this session. And I will thank you, Let's Upgrade, to giving me this opportunity. See you in the next session.